Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Thursday morning because I'm now 4-0 in my last 4 extra daily picks on my premium site. We had the Rays minus $1.25 on the money line yesterday, and they got the job done on the road against the Twins. Tampa had 4 different batters with multi-hit games. Randy Arozarena had a home run. And the good news is, folks, I have another extra daily pick going off here today on my premium site. Now, the extra daily pick is a package that I offer for just $2.99. And if you sign up for that membership here today, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to my daily best play, which is another completely different package, absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. So once again, if you sign up for that $2.99 package here today, you're going to get 2 premium selections of mine every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just 9 cents a day. I currently have over 745 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. What I do on my premium page is actually share with you which one of these free plays I like the best. I'm 4-1 in my last 5 daily best plays, 15-4 in my last 19 picks in that very same package. And once again, guys, I'm 4-0 in my last 4 extra daily picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have plays going off in both of those packages here today. And once again, that site is patreon.com/BrockPage. The link for that site is in the description section below. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into some free content. Vikes, Eagles, Thursday Night Football. Philadelphia 6.5 at home, totals 49. Now, both teams did see their Week 1 contest stay under 49 total points. The Birds were in a bit of a defensive gridlock with the Patriots. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw their opener against Tampa reach just 37 total points. Plus, league-wise, the games felt a lot faster. The clock was stopping a lot less. Seems like teams really weren't touching the ball as much as they usually do. Saw a good amount of unders in that opening week. Now, injury-wise, Davenport and Darrisaw, they're questionable for Minnesota. Garrett Bradbury's out. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, James Bradbury is out for them. Kenny Gainwell and Reed Blankenship also banged up. Looks like they're inactive. Now, when it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game is being featured as one of my NFL tier package picks on my premium page for Week 2. So if you want to see whether I'm taking the Vikings catching the touchdown on the road, or if I like Philly laying the points at the link, this game is once again being featured as one of my NFL tier membership picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, give me the under 49. Next matchup, Ravens-Bengals, 1 o'clock Sunday. Cincinnati is the 4-point favorite somehow. Total's 46.5. Now, the Bengals certainly did not look crisp. And I'm not sure if Joe Burrow is completely healthy right now. He completed only 45% of his passes, and he threw for a dismal 82 yards in a Week 1 loss to Cleveland. They were just dominated in every aspect of the game. And when it comes to running the football, the Bengals ran for just 75 yards on the ground. Now, they're facing a tough Ravens D who covered a double-digit spread in Week 1. And they actually held the Texans to just 9 points. Roquan Smith, he was all over the place as he finished the game with 16 total tackles. This Baltimore pass rush also put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They gave the Houston O-line fits. They actually got to the QB 5 times in their opener. Total-wise, both clubs saw their openers stay under the total. Stanley, Andrews, and Linderbaum are questionable for Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins, once again, out for the year. That is a shame there. Cincy on the other side, Joseph Osai is questionable for them. Give me Baltimore +4, under 46.5. Next ball game, Bears-Bucks, 1 o'clock East. Tampa Bay is the 2.5-point favorite. Total's 41. Now, the Bucs are coming off a nice Week 1 victory over the Vikings. Surprised a lot of people as they were the touchdown underdog. And I did say it last week, this Tampa Bay defense had the ability to keep them in it. And, well, they most certainly did. Christian Easian had an interception. Winfield and McCullum, they recovered a couple of fumbles. No real surprise. It was Devin White who led the charge with 12 tackles on the day. They actually held the Vikes to just 41 rushing yards on the ground. It was a very good defensive performance out of the Bucs. And they're certainly going to need a good effort out of that D because Chicago can actually move the football. They ran for a good amount of yards against Green Bay. Justin Fields also threw it 37 times, so they're not afraid to throw it with him. They're going to give him a chance to sling it around. And I actually do think we'll see both offenses have some success moving the football in this one. Now, injury-wise, Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon, they're both questionable for Chicago. Kalijah Cansey is questionable for Tampa Bay. When it comes to the total, the Bears saw their opener get 17 points above the posted total. Give me the Buccaneers -2.5 over 41. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Packers-Falcons, 1 o'clock East. Green Bay is -1.5. Total's 40 and a hook. And while Atlanta looked fairly impressive in their opener, I think it's Green Bay who's got incredible upside. I was very impressed and surprised by the performance of Jordan Love. The youngster threw for 3 touchdown passes, didn't turn it over, and he was sacked only 1 time. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Atlanta quarterback Desmond Ridder, he threw for just 115 yards, and he was sacked 4 times. Now, his leading receiver was tight end Kyle Pitts, who had just 2 catches for 44 yards. And his second leading receiver was Mac Hollins, who probably set a career high in receiving yards on Sunday with 31 of them. Social media is so stupid. They were gassing Mac Hollins up in the summer. Made me so mad. Like, what are you people doing? Mac Hollins? 6 career touchdown catches? Horrible. Anyway, Patterson, Okuda, Anderson, all questionable for the Falcons. Jones, Walker, and Watson are questionable for the Packers. Now, total-wise, Green Bay once again saw their Week 1 opener get 17 points above the total for that ball game. Hey, put your money where your mouth is. If you really think Mac Hollins is great, draft him in fantasy. I wonder how many fantasy teams he's actually on. Give me Green Bay -1.5 over 40 and a hook. All right, next matchup, Colts, Texans, 1 o'clock East. Indy's -1, total's 39.5. Now, I'm definitely expecting a sloppy one in this game. Both teams with very inexperienced rookies at that quarterback position. Now, I do think it's probably Anthony Richardson who has a better chance at getting the W in this one. He really competed well against Jacksonville and gave the Colts a legitimate chance to win the ball game. Shane Steichen, he actually had him throw 37 times in that ball game, and he only turned it over 1 time. Meanwhile, Michael Pittman, he had 8 grabs for 97 yards and a score. Now, they're facing a Houston club who didn't run it well against Baltimore, and they had significant problems up front. C.J. Stroud was sacked 5 times in his professional debut. The Texans gained only 72 yards on the ground. And although I think the Texans will be able to move the sticks a little against Indy, I don't think they're going to outscore the Colts. Indy saw their Week 1 opener fly 6 points above the posted total for that game. When it comes to the injury list, Moss is questionable for the Colts. Ward, Fant, Cashman, and Mitchie are questionable for Houston. Give me the Colts -1, and we're going to lean toward the over 39.5. All right, next matchup, Chiefs, Jags, 1 o'clock East. Kansas City's the 4-point favorite. Total's 51. And even though Andy Reid rarely loses 2 in a row, I don't like him laying 4 points on the road in this spot here. We're still uncertain of the status of Travis Kelce. Even if he is available, who knows how healthy he's going to actually be. Can't imagine he's going to be 100%. Plus, the Chiefs did very little to establish a run game against a notoriously porous Detroit defense. Aside from Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs' leading rusher was Isaiah Pacheco, who had 8 carries for just 23 yards. Plus, I don't know, man, maybe a little bit superstitious, but when Andy Reid faces someone from his coaching tree, he rarely blows him out. Like, he doesn't punish him. I don't think this is a great number for Kansas City backers here, laying 4 on the road. Not 100% healthy. Now, Jacksonville on the other side, they were very balanced offensively. Trevor Lawrence completed 75% of his passes for 241. Very efficient. I'm not going to say it's outstanding, but it's efficient. It's enough to win you games. Calvin Ridley, he had 101 yards receiving in the opener. And when it comes to the run game, the Jags rushed for over 100 in week 1 as well. Now, injury-wise, Sheriff, Fortner, and Jr. are questionable for Jacksonville. Travis Kelce, questionable for the Chiefs. When it comes to the total, Kansas City saw their opener fall 12 points below the posted number. I think this 51 number might be a little bit high here. Give me Jacksonville +4 under 51. All right, next ball game, Raiders-Bills should be an interesting one. 1 o'clock Eastern start time. And after that debacle on Monday Night Football, Buffalo is somehow the double-digit favorite. Buffalo's -10, totals 47. And it might be a Bills line, but I can't in good conscience lay double digits with Buffalo here. They looked awful in the season opener against Zach Wilson and the Jets. Plus, Josh Allen's, for some reason, taking a bunch of unnecessary punishment. I really question his decision-making at times. Numbers-wise, Allen threw 3 interceptions, fumbled twice, got sacked 5 times. He was an absolute liability for the Bills offensively in week 1. He hurt the team. Now, Buffalo also did very little. They did very little to establish the run game against the Jets. Their leading rusher had just 46 yards. They're facing a Raider team who held tough defensively in their opener. They held the Broncos to just 16 total points in that opening day win. And I talked about Max Crosby last week, and he definitely had an impact. Crosby had a handful of tackles along with a sack. Now, on the offensive end, I talked about Jimmy G last week. I talked about him being steady, consistent, doing enough to win games, doing enough not to lose them. And boy, was that a typical Jimmy G performance. 20 of 26, 200 yards on the dot, a couple of touchdowns, no sacks. If that ain't Jimmy G, I don't know what is. I can't see Garoppolo getting blown out by double digits. Too good of a game manager. Doesn't let many games get out of hand. Give me Vegas +10, under 47. All right, next ball game, Chargers, Titans, 1 o'clock East. The LA Chargers are -3.5 on the road. Totals 45. I don't trust the Chargers. I'm about fed up with these guys. I don't care how good their offense is. Their defense continues to be vomit-inducing year after year. As much as the Titans struggled offensively on Sunday, they still rushed for over 100 yards. Look for them to run it down the Chargers' throats in Nashville. Trey Avery's questionable for Tennessee. Williams, Eckler, Rumpf, and Henley are questionable for the Chargers. LA saw their opener Chargers saw their opener get 20 points above the posted total. Give me Tennessee +3.5, over 45. All right, next matchup here could be a trap. Let's take a look at it. Seahawks-Lions, 1 o'clock East. Detroit's -5, kind of a number in no man's land here. Totals 47. But following their impressive Week 1 win over Kansas City, I've got no rational reason to fade Detroit here. I can't do it. I know it's a trap. I know it. But I can't fade them. They look great on both sides of the ball in spots. Jared Goff threw for over 250 yards. Didn't turn it over. Receiver Josh Reynolds averaged 20 yards per catch. You know, they had some heavy hitters. They're facing a Seattle offense who looked terrible against the Rams in Week 1. Geno Smith completed only 16 passes for a $112. Meanwhile, on the ground, the Hawks gained only 85 yards rushing. They looked abysmal. Lockett, Adams, Cross, Witherspoon, all questionable for Seattle. Mosley's questionable for the Lions. Both squads saw their week 1 openers stay under the total. Give me the Lions -5, under 47. Next matchup, Giants-Cardinals, 405 East. The New York Giants are -5.5. Total is 39 and a hook. And even though no one has any good reason to back the Giants, no one, foolishness, I do feel like there's more upside to New York than there is to Arizona. I think the Giants are going to trend upward, and the Cardinals are only going to get worse. Cards have a bunch of inexperience. They're a little questionable talent-wise as well. Meanwhile, the Giants on the other side, they got a bunch of talent and solid experience on both sides of the ball. Pretty good experience coaching-wise. I think these guys just laid an egg in the opener against a really solid Dallas team. Things kind of snowballed, got out of hand really fast. Before you knew it, they were down 16-0. I mean, I don't think that performance is anywhere indicative of where this team is at. I can't imagine it's going to happen again in this spot here. I'm not looking for a slugfest. I think both defenses are going to perform well. Thomas, Brown, Flott, Robinson, and Owens are questionable for the G-men. Beacham's questionable for Arizona. Maybe a 10-3 game, 16-10. It's going to be an ugly one. Give me the Giants -5.5, under 39 and a hook in that tight window. Next matchup, I think it's going to be a good one. Niners-Rams, 405 East. San Francisco's the 8-point favorite on the road. Total's 44. And even though this feels like a Niners line to me, I kind of think the Rams are back. Kind of trashed them last week. You know, I felt like they were unmotivated. Felt like maybe they were getting a little bit old, stale. I don't know. They played some pretty inspired football last week. I think the Rams are back. Matthew Stafford threw for 334 yards. He did not turn it over. He also had a pair of receivers with 100-yard games. And we can't forget that Sean McVay is very smart. He's a very good coach. I'm really looking for McVay to dial up some plays to neutralize that 49er pass rush. He's too smart. He's not going to let you just tee off on Stafford. They'll throw quick hitters, misdirections, screens. You're not going to tee off on him. And to be fair, I can't in good conscience nitpick anything San Francisco's doing right now. These guys are awesome. They might be the perfect team. They look damn near perfect against the Steelers. So I'm not going to trash these guys. They're damn good. But I just think the Rams in this spot can keep it within a touchdown. I think we're just going to have a good football game. Give me the Rams +8 over 44. Next ball game, another game of interest. Might be shocked at the line. Jets, Cowboys, 425 East. By Sunday, this is going to probably be a double-digit spread. But right now, Dallas is -9.5. Total is 38. And I don't know, man. That opening week win by the Jets felt very fluky to me. Obviously, they didn't game plan to have Zach Wilson as the starter. But they ended up winning the game on a walk-off punt return touchdown. I mean, it really had to, like, defy the odds to get the W in that one, and they did. Fluky. I don't know. It didn't feel like repeatable, replicable. And I think they're facing a Cowboys team that, you know, if they prepare for Zach Wilson for an entire week, they can definitely be dangerous. You know, Wilson completed only 14 passes for $140 and a pick. And the Jets' leading receiver was Alan Lazard, just 46 yards. They're facing a Dallas team who had a pair of interceptions in week 1. They forced 3 fumbles, had a pick 6 blocked a kick. I mean, it was like unreal. And this dangerous Dallas pass rush got to the quarterback 7 times. I think the Cowboys would take business here. It was like watching a video game. It was just dominant. Wilson, Smith, questionable for the Cowboys. Lawson, questionable for the Jets. Give me Dallas minus 9.5, over 38. Next game, Commanders, Broncos, 425 East. Denver's minus 3.5 at home. Totals 39. And even though the Broncos are favored here, I can't back them after week 1. Russell Wilson continues to look lackluster as usual. I think he's declining rapidly. He threw for just $177. His leading receiver had only 34 yards. When it comes to the run game, the Broncos rushed for only 94 yards. Like, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't run. They couldn't pass. They're facing a Washington team who was very game defensively in their opener. Cam Curl had double-digit tackles. Montez Sweat continuously pressured the quarterback. When it comes to the injury report, Chase Young is questionable for Washington. If he can suit up Sunday, though, it could mean even more trouble for Denver. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, Jerry Jeudy and Riley Moss are both questionable for them. Give me the Commanders, plus 3.5, under 39. Next game, Sunday Night Football, Dolphins, Patriots, 8:20 p.m. East. Miami's the $3. Miami's minus 3 on the road. Sorry, I'm thinking baseball. Miami's minus 3, totals 46.5. And as explosive as the Dolphins were in week 1, I have to do it again. I have to back New England catching points at home. This is the second week in a row they're catching points at Gillette. And depending on when you bet the game last week, some of you actually pushed with New England plus 5. But, with Mac Jones throwing for 316 and 3 touchdowns against the Eagles, I got to back this guy again, catching a few points at home. The Finns on the other side continue to be terrible on defense, especially in the secondary. You heard me on the video. I had concerns about Miami's defense last week. I was right. And when it comes to the injury report, Armstead, Campbell, Achane, Hill, they are questionable for the Dolphins. Parker and Brown questionable for New England. Give me the Patriots plus 3, over 46.5. All right, next game. Actually, it's our Monday Night Football doubleheader. And game 1 is the Saints-Panthers, 7:15 East. New Orleans is minus 3, totals 39.5. Now, the Saints defense definitely limited this. They look great, by the way. They were stifling. The Saints D limited Derrick Henry to just 63 yards in week 1. And they also provided all kinds of problems to Ryan Tannehill. They actually got to the quarterback 3 times. And he also had 3 interceptions on the afternoon. Now, they're facing a Carolina team who was only able to muster up 10 points in week 1 with that rookie quarterback, the 5'9" Bryce Young. Young completed just 52% of his passes for $146 and a couple of picks. His top 2 receivers combined for only 67 total yards. And it was actually a tight end and a running back, his 2 safety valves. So, Carolina probably not going to win a bunch of games this year. And to be honest, I'm actually worried about this guy's health, the quarterback. New Orleans, can really injure this guy bad in this one. I think they're going to get to him a lot. He's going to get hurt. I don't know. I'm afraid for his health. Get the medics on standby. Anyway, injury-wise, DJ Chark, he is questionable for the Panthers. Smith, Gray, and Miller questionable for the Saints. Give me New Orleans minus 3, under 39.5. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final pick for the video. It's our game 2 in the doubleheader. Browns Steelers, 8:15 East. Cleveland's 2.5, totals 38. Now, the Browns did look pretty dominant in their opener against Cincinnati. Defense played nearly flawless. They held Joe Burrow to an embarrassing 82 yards passing. and they limited Cincy's ground attack to just 75 yards. They really embarrassed these guys. They humiliated them. They're facing a Steeler offense who was humiliated themselves. They're shockingly bad. No need to say more. Give me Cleveland minus 2.5, under 38. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the under 49 in the Vikings-Eagles game. Ravens +4, under 46.5. Buccaneers minus 2.5, over 41. And following Wednesday's sports wagering action, I'm 4-0 my last 4 extra daily picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another extra daily pick going off here today. It costs just $2.99 for 30 days of service. The math works out to be just 9 cents a day. The link is in my bio. Packers minus 1.5, over 40 and a hook. Indy minus 1, over 39.5. Jacksonville +4, under 51. Raiders +10, under 47. Titans +3.5, over 45. Detroit Lions -5, under 47. New York Giants -5.5, under 39 and a hook. Give me the Rams +8, over 44. Cowboys -9.5, over 38. Commanders +3.5, under 39. Patriots +3, over 46.5. New Orleans Saints -3, under 39 and a hook. With my next and final free pick for the video, give me Cleveland -2.5, under 38. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. If you guys do end up getting a package, a membership here today on my premium site, just keep in mind you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, guys, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.